What is going on, Multiversers? Welcome back to the channel. It's Sunday, so you know what that means. It is time for the next Multiversus Yay or Nay episode. And today we're going to go a little outside the box for the character, or just the character in a broad sense. And what I mean by that is we're going to be taking a look at Brawlhalla. So today's video will focus on one character, specifically Scarlet, because she's one of the more, we'll say, popular and one of the more well-known characters from Brawlhalla. But this episode goes towards any Brawlhalla original character. If you want to see one of those in Multiversus as a playable character, then yay, you put that down in the comments. Otherwise, nay, you don't. You get it. But let's begin by going over some of the possible moves. I mean, let's face it, Brawlhalla is already a platform fighter, so the moveset, the costumes, like everything is pretty much ready to go. But if you haven't seen it, well, here's the first idea for the move. And this is just one of the, we'll call it a 3-hit attack. And I imagine this one being Scarlet's ground forward attack. So for this one, she will start by jabbing the handle of her hammer forwards. And then if you press the button 2 more times, she will then follow it up with, she starts with the jab and then follows it up with a kick and then a hammer strike. So it's a nice little 3-hit attack, can rack up some good damage, but the hammer weapon itself might be a little on the slow side. I mean, it is a pretty big hammer after all, but it might be a little on the slow side, but you know, it should still do pretty decent damage. I think this is a nice, you know, many characters have a nice grounded forward attack. Shaggy's got a nice 3-hit combo. Rick's got a couple. Many characters have this, so I think this would be a really good way to at least start to utilize the character, one of the character's weapons, because in Brawlhalla, if you've never played it, characters, I guess we could say, specialize in 2 different weapon variants, and then that's kind of how the moveset kind of goes from there. But Scarlet does make use of the hammer pretty well in Brawlhalla, so why not see that if the character were to happen to be playable in Multiverses. Move number 2, this one is called a hammer recovery. This one is actually a pretty good move in Brawlhalla itself, so here's how this one would work. The next move, like we said, is a hammer recovery, and this is where Scarlet will take her hammer. She'll end up thrusting it above her, but if it makes contact with the opponent, the hammer almost acts like a sort of, I guess we'll say, a hook. So the hammer kind of like goes around the opponent, but the attack itself has the hammer. If it latches on, if it hooks the opponent, it then will have Scarlet throw them straight down. You can see by the gameplay clip, obviously, but it's something that could be really fun for, you know, off-stage shenanigans, or, you know, if the opponent's at like pretty decently high damage and you got clear above you and you can KO the opponent above the stage, you know, grab them, chuck them straight down, and then they bounce off of the floor or a platform or something. They get sent flying straight upwards. So this could be a pretty powerful tool in Scarlet's moveset. It has a pretty decent range to it, so, you know, it's fun. It's a little bit different than what we see, so I don't know. I like it. I think it fits. Move number 3, this one, we're going to go with the Lance. So like we said a little bit earlier, characters in Brawlhalla utilize 2 different weapons, or specialize in 2 different weapons, shall we say. And we've already shown off a few ideas for the hammer that Scarlet can use. Well, now let's switch over to what the Lance can do, or at least one idea for what it can do. So this one, again, is called the Lance Charge, or at least that's what I'm going to call the move. So I imagine this one could be more of a side special or a forward special. It could be a forward grounded and a forward air special. But the way this works, you see in the little clip, Scarlet will hop on to the Lance. She kind of like rides it almost like a broomstick or something like that. But she jumps on, and the spear, the Lance, it kind of goes dashing forwards. So this attack, this move has versatility to it, right? So not only is it a move, so it can deal damage, it's a moving hitbox, which can help close the gap on an opponent that might be, you know, knocked back a little bit, or, you know, you're trying to close the distance on them for whatever reason. And then, of course, it also helps out with horizontal recovery. So it's got many uses to this, and I think this would be a really fun thing to do. And if you really wanted to, again, characters in Brawlhalla specialize in 2 different weapons, so any ground or any neutral attacks, any ground or air regular attacks, those could be all hammer moves, and then all special moves could only rely on the lance. That way it kind of balances out, so you got like half the moves are the hammer and half the moves are the lance. That way it kind of, you know, plays into the character and where the character comes from and what they do. So I don't know, thought it'd be a fun idea. Now let's move on to the alternate costume, and again, this kind of writes itself. Again, Brawlhalla being a platform fighter, they've been established for years, so the characters, they have many costumes to pick from. So if you played Brawlhalla, you like any of the costumes for any of the characters, you know, you can pick pretty much whatever. But for Scarlet's sake, we got 3 different ideas. So the first one is called the Bewitching one, which was a Halloween exclusive skin. I really like how this one looks, so I thought this would be really fun, you know? If this ever were to happen and Multiversus gets another Halloween event, hey, you could get a Halloween costume for Scarlet in Multiversus. Get this one specifically because it looks pretty awesome. I like it, so there's an idea. Alternate costume idea number 2, we could go with the one that is called Steam Sentry. We see it. It looks pretty cool. I like the look of this one. It gives a different feel. It's kind of like a steampunk sort of knight armor, if you will. That's kind of, I guess that's what they're going for. So it's just another idea for another costume. It works out pretty well. Either way, alternate costume number 3 is called Mad Genius. I think this looks pretty fun. I think people would buy this, and I think this is one of the more popular costumes for Scarlet in Brawlhalla. I'd have to recheck my notes on that one, but I think it is, so that's why I included it in this video. But there you go, just a few different ideas for alternate costumes. Now for the taunts or winning animations. Both of these could work as a taunt or a winning animation, honestly. So the first one of my favorite ones in Brawlhalla, I would hope you could make this one might work better as a taunt, but again, it could work as a winning animation. But this one, the salt taunt, where they pull out the big can of salt and start dumping it. Come on, that's a fan favorite. That's fantastic. I like that one a lot. So that'd be cool to see them bring that in with Scarlet for a character being a taunt. Ooh, even if they made that one like purchasable with Gleamium, I think a lot of people would buy that one. So it'd be pretty cool. But yeah, salt taunt for one idea, and then the other one, simple, again, works as winning animation or just a regular taunt, but maybe this one's more suited for winning. But just the simple take a bow. Yeah, it just comes out and you take a bow as soon as you're done. So you win. Hey, bow. Thank you. Oh yeah, I'm here all week. Thank you. I destroyed my opponent. So something a little similar. Or again, if it's a taunt and you do something extremely, you know, awesome and clip worthy, and you want to throw it in your montage, well then perfect. You got that perfect taunt to throw out at the very end of it. Take a bow. You just did something incredible. Why not celebrate it? And now for the yay or nay portion. Again, you guys can answer that question down in the comments whenever you want to, but for me, this one's actually going to be a yay, because again, remember, this is in general. This doesn't have to be specifically Scarlet, but would you be willing, would you be open to the idea, would you want to see a Brawlhalla original character be playable in Multiversus? I think the crossover, the idea for that would be tremendous. I would love to see that. It would get hype for both games. It'd be so cool. So for me, this one's gonna be a yay. I don't think this one's gonna get a whole ton of yays. I expect once we get the final yay or nay results that the Brawlhalla character, or Scarlet in this case, I expect her to be lower on the tier, or on the rankings, I should say. So we'll have to wait and see how that one plays out. But that is going to be it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed. We only have 2 more yay or nay episodes, and then we'll have the final ranking. So I guess 3 episodes total, but 2 characters left to do. We'll have to wait and see who those end up being. I think the winner of the poll is obvious, but either way, that is going to be it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed as always, and I guess I'll see you when I'm looking at you.